I'm the minstrel man, the cleaning man, the pole man, the shoe shine man.
You.
All right, I'm gonna get...
Hello, America. This is Miss America.
Coonskin wasn't just a cartoon. It was a dangerous movie wrapped in anger, rebellion, and chaos that almost destroyed careers and caused riots across America.
Coonskin's coming.
One time, people threw smoke bombs in movie theaters during screenings. One company went bankrupt just 2 weeks after releasing it, and one big studio completely abandoned the project when protests got too scary. These are 40 weird facts about Coonskin, but wait until the end because the bonus fact is about how clips from this banned movie secretly appeared in a 2012 political video. Get ready for controversy. We're looking at the most dangerous cartoon ever made. Fact 1. The title kept changing.
Bear here feels kind of funny talking to you, but he sends his love.
At Paramount Studios, the movie had several different names, including Harlem Nights, Harlem Days, and Coonskin No More, before they picked the final controversial title. Each name change showed how nervous the studio bosses were about the movie's shocking content and how audiences might react. The constant title changes proved that corporate executives were scared of the material but couldn't figure out how to make it less controversial through simple rebranding attempts. Fact 2, the Disney characters turned evil.
So as you could show your religion and gratitude to Reverend Simple's revolution.
The film took beloved characters from Disney's Song of the South, Br'er Rabbit, Preacher Fox, and Br'er Bear, and moved them into a gritty crime story set in Harlem that attacked racist stereotypes. This shocking approach turned innocent children's characters into urban criminals while criticizing both Disney's Happy Plantation movies and violent crime films of the 1970s. The character transformation created uncomfortable feelings that forced viewers to see how familiar cultural figures could mean different things in different situations. Fact 3. The mixed real and cartoon approach.
Howdy, boys. Who do I pay around here for my pleasure?
The movie combined real actors with cartoon animation, featuring big stars like Barry White, Scatman Crothers, Charles Gordon, and Philip Michael Thomas in both live action and voice acting. This unusual mix created a unique viewing experience that grounded fantasy cartoon sequences in realistic dramatic scenes. The double performance requirement showed the actors' skills while letting Bakshi explore how real-life drama could make animated social criticism more powerful through authentic human emotion. Fact 4. The long opening song. The opening credits were just one long shot of Scatman Crothers singing Coonskin No More, setting the movie's confrontational tone from the very first moment. This bold choice rejected normal credit sequences in favor of live performance that immediately told viewers what kind of movie they were about to see. The long opening showed Bakshi's confidence in his material while featuring Crothers' powerful presence that would anchor the film's emotional center throughout its controversial story. Fact 5. The hidden voice actors.
I ain't shaky.
Me and Bear have to take care of him.
The ending credits only listed actors' live-action work while completely leaving out several voice performers, creating strange inequality between visible and invisible contributions to the film. This credit problem reflected industry bias that valued live-action work more than voice acting while possibly protecting voice actors from being connected to controversial content. The missing voice credits showed how cartoon films could hide creative contributions behind corporate worries about professional reputation and career damage from controversial artistic involvement. Fact 6. The offensive imagery on purpose.
Good idea, Yearn, finishing off Saturday night with a little black whoring.
The movie deliberately used blackface and minstrel show imagery to criticize racism while also making fun of white Southerners, Italians, and other ethnic groups through exaggerated stereotypes. This provocative approach used offensive pictures to expose racist thinking rather than celebrate it, creating a complex viewing experience that challenged audiences to tell the difference between promoting and criticizing harmful stereotypes. The controversial imagery choices showed how satirical art could use offensive material against itself while risking misunderstanding by viewers. Fact 7. The famous behind-the-scenes team.
Killing crackers? Well, I guess that's cool any day.
The cinematography was done by William A. Fraker, famous for Bullet, while the jazz music came from legendary musician Chico Hamilton, bringing serious artistic credibility to controversial material. These prestigious collaborators elevated the production beyond typical exploitation movies into legitimate artistic territory that demanded critical attention. The high-quality creative team showed that industry professionals were willing to risk their reputations for meaningful artistic expression while providing technical skill that supported the film's complex satirical goals. Fact 8. The anti-Godfather message.
Come on, let's you and I have a drink to the death of the rabbit.
Bakshi clearly stated he made the film to attack the hero worship of criminals popularized by The Godfather, wanting to challenge romanticized portrayals of organized crime through satirical counterstory. This reactive creative motivation positioned Coonskin as a direct response to contemporary movies that glorified criminal behavior. Bakshi's anti-crime stance showed how cartoon films could engage with serious cultural criticism while using cartoon medium to expose the stupidity of criminal glorification in popular entertainment. Fact 9. The budget and release details.
You got excited over a goddamn old sweater.
Don't blame him, man. His pappy was a slave.
The production cost approximately $1.6 million with an 83-minute runtime, receiving limited theatrical release on August 20th, 1975, establishing its commercial parameters. These modest numbers reflected both independent filmmaking constraints and studio uncertainty about the project's ability to make money. The limited release strategy showed distributor caution about controversial content, while the tight budget proved that meaningful artistic expression didn't need massive financial resources to achieve significant cultural impact. Fact 10. The museum protest disaster.
I heard that 350 of you white folks committed.
A planned Museum of Modern Art screening caused protests from CORE, Congress of Racial Equality, with the after-screening discussion turning into chaotic shouting matches between audience members. This prestigious venue protest showed how high culture institutions became battlegrounds for debates about artistic freedom versus social responsibility. The museum confrontation proved that even academic settings couldn't contain the film's controversial power, while showing that satirical art could generate real political activism and cultural dialogue among viewers. Fact 11. The studio picketing campaign.
That's through Black Jesus, which the Reverend is cousin to.
After the museum screening, CORE organized picketing campaigns outside Paramount offices while urging the studio not to release the film to general audiences nationwide. This organized opposition represented unprecedented activist response to cartoon film content that threatened major studio operations and business relationships. The picketing campaign showed how satirical art could mobilize political movements while forcing entertainment corporations to confront social responsibility questions that went beyond simple commercial considerations and profit margins. Fact 12. The NAACP support letter.
I know that. Well, that's why they came.
You got your act together. I
got everything.
The chains.
The NAACP disagreed with CORE's position by writing a supportive letter describing Coonskin as difficult satire that deserved release and serious consideration from audiences. This organizational split within the civil rights movement showed complex reactions to satirical art that addressed racial issues through controversial methods and imagery. The NAACP support proved how sophisticated viewers could distinguish between satirical criticism and racist propaganda while validating Bakshi's artistic intentions through mainstream civil rights organization endorsement. Fact 13. The studio abandonment disaster.
Oh, I should have when I had the chance.
Paramount abandoned the project due to protest pressure, leaving Bryanston to distribute the film, which then declared bankruptcy just 2 weeks after theatrical opening nationwide. This distributor collapse catastrophically destroyed the film's commercial release, while showing how political controversy could destroy business relationships and financial backing. The bankruptcy timing proved how external pressure could create cascading commercial failures that effectively censored controversial art through economic rather than legal mechanisms or government intervention. Fact 14. The dialogue cleaning process.
Hey man, why you shoving that picture so tight against?
Producer Ben Gage was hired to re-record parts of Barry White's dialogue, removing racist references and vulgarity to soften the film's controversial content for broader release. This after-production censorship showed studio attempts to compromise artistic vision for commercial viability while potentially undermining the satirical effectiveness that required provocative language for impact. The dialogue editing proved how corporate pressure could alter artistic intent through technical modification that changed the film's meaning and cultural power. Fact 15. The wrong marketing approach.
And white is pain. You have been kicked by white.
Contemporary advertisements deliberately marketed Coonskin as typical blaxploitation entertainment, with critic Roger Ebert arguing the film was being sold as the very thing it's not. This marketing contradiction showed how distributors could undermine artistic intent through promotional strategies that attracted wrong audiences while pushing away intended viewers. The misrepresentation proved how commercial advertising could fundamentally alter audience expectations and critical reception through misleading promotional approaches that ignored the film's satirical sophistication and political purpose. Fact 16. The theater bomb attacks.
Man, I ain't got no money. Rabbit, Fox, I ain't got no money.
Village Voice reported in 1982 that smoke bombs were thrown into packed Broadway theaters during screenings, terrorizing audiences and scaring theater owners away from booking the film. These violent disruptions represented extreme activist tactics that went beyond peaceful protest into dangerous intimidation methods that threatened public safety. The smoke bomb attacks showed how controversial art could inspire genuine physical threats, while proving that satirical content could generate responses that endangered artistic freedom and audience safety. Fact 17. The Scorsese panic filming.
Rabbit, sometimes I misunderstand you.
Ralph Bakshi said that Martin Scorsese filmed crowd panic footage near Times Square when smoke bombs disrupted a theatrical screening, capturing real audience terror for potential documentary use. This behind-the-scenes collaboration between directors showed how controversial art could inspire secondary creative documentation while proving how real-world violence could become artistic material. Scorsese's involvement proved major filmmakers recognized the cultural significance of the film's reception, even amid dangerous circumstances and public safety threats. Fact 18. The multiple different titles.
Look, I done heard enough, man, and I think I'll say so.
The film was later retitled for various releases as Bustin' Out and Street Fight, showing ongoing attempts to distance the content from its original controversial branding and marketing. These title changes represented continued marketing struggles to find acceptable presentation for satirical content that remained provocative regardless of naming strategies or promotional approaches. The multiple titles proved how controversial films could be repackaged repeatedly without solving fundamental content concerns that drove audience and distributor anxiety about the material. Fact 19. The honest VHS warning.
You and your friends has caused me and my revolution too much fucking trouble.
The 1987 VHS release, retitled Street Fight, carried the bold warning label, "This film offends everybody," embracing rather than apologizing for its controversial content and themes. This marketing approach transformed controversy into a selling point while accurately preparing audiences for provocative material that challenged social norms. The warning label showed how home video marketing could embrace artistic controversy as commercial advantage while providing honest content disclosure that respected viewer choice about exposure to challenging satirical material. Fact 20. The DVD release problems.
What you doing spreading the news looking like that?
A planned 2010 Shout! Factory DVD was canceled over rights issues, while Xenon's 2012 DVD restored the original title, showing continued distribution challenges decades after initial release. These ongoing rights problems showed how controversial films could face persistent commercial obstacles that limited audience access to important artistic works throughout different media formats. The DVD complications proved how legal and commercial barriers could effectively censor satirical art through distribution restriction rather than direct prohibition or government censorship. Fact 21. The Italian longer version discovery.
Black racket money stays in Harlem. No more mafia.
In Italy, a longer Paramount cut, approximately 99 minutes, surfaced on 1992 VHS, later rediscovered by a YouTuber in 2023 and issued on DVD including both versions. This international preservation showed how global distribution could save artistic material that domestic censorship had suppressed or destroyed. The Italian cut discovery proved how controversial American films could find safer haven in international markets, while showing that dedicated fans could recover lost artistic content through persistent research and digital archaeology efforts. Fact 22. The banjo weapon joke.
Told you I don't want no more H pushed around here. Sell it downtown.
The film featured surreal visual comedy where a banjo hit a machine gun for an assassination attempt, representing the movie's blend of folk imagery with urban violence. This weapon transformation showed Bakshi's ability to create memorable satirical images that combined rural and urban cultural symbols in unexpected ways. The banjo joke proved how satirical animation could subvert innocent cultural objects into commentary about American violence while creating unforgettable visual metaphors for cultural contradiction and social hypocrisy. Fact 23, the drug blackface scene.
Let's just go and get it over with.
What's the rush?
A police officer gets drugged with LSD, then appears in blackface and mammy outfit before chaotic scenes erupt, representing the film's most provocative sequence combining drugs, racism, and authority criticism. This hallucinogenic transformation showed Bakshi's willingness to push satirical boundaries beyond comfortable limits while using psychedelic imagery to expose racist psychology and thinking. The sequence proved how animated medium could visualize internal prejudice through external transformation that made psychological racism physically manifest and visible. Fact 24, the folktale crime adaptation.
Exactly when the Black Revolution is gonna start?
Br'er Bear becomes a mob boxer while Br'er Rabbit uses a tar dummy to trap criminals, creating a dark twist on the classic Tar Baby story within urban crime context. This character adaptation showed how traditional folklore could be transformed into contemporary social commentary while maintaining narrative structure and moral lessons. The crime adaptation proved Bakshi's skill at translating rural folktales into urban satirical content that preserved original moral teachings while updating cultural context for modern audiences. Fact 25, the America allegory scenes.
Look, I see how them guns is mighty nice.
The film included recurring Miss America scenes where a pinup personification of America seduces and brutalizes a figure representing Black America, creating disturbing patriotic imagery and symbolism. These allegorical sequences showed sophisticated symbolic thinking that transformed abstract political concepts into concrete visual narratives that audiences could understand. The Miss America imagery proved how satirical animation could criticize national mythology through personification that made ideological violence literally visible to viewers in uncomfortable ways. Fact 26, the TV star Godfather voice.
Oh, my Faisal. Hey, sit down here, Pop.
Al Lewis, famous as Grandpa from The Munsters, provided the voice for the Godfather character, creating unexpected connection between family television and satirical crime commentary. This casting choice showed how voice acting could subvert audience expectations while bringing recognizable performer energy to controversial material and themes. Lewis's involvement proved how television comedy actors could contribute to serious satirical projects while adding a layer of cultural reference that enriched the film's media commentary and criticism. Fact 27, the butterfly death scene.
He was taking over all the rackets in this groovy graveyard.
In one notorious scene, the mob matriarch transforms into a butterfly and gets crushed, providing violent fairy tale flourish that epitomized the film's shocking satirical approach to storytelling. This transformation sequence showed Bakshi's ability to combine beautiful imagery with shocking violence that created lasting psychological impact on viewers. The butterfly crushing proved how satirical animation could subvert expectations of beauty and innocence while creating unforgettable visual metaphors for power destruction and the corruption of innocence. Fact 28, the groundbreaking diverse team.
Well, I'll come right down to the point. We's all black, right?
Bakshi hired black animators, including Brenda Banks, often cited as the first African-American female animator, plus graffiti artists to create authentic urban visual style for the production. This inclusive hiring showed progressive animation industry practices while ensuring cultural authenticity in satirical representation of urban communities. The diverse animation team proved how controversial projects could create meaningful employment opportunities while bringing genuine community perspectives to satirical art that addressed racial issues and social problems. Fact 29, the New York Times praise.
All right, we got you surrounded. Put down your gun and come on out.
Richard Eder in the New York Times wrote the film could be Bakshi's masterpiece, praising its hallucinatory urban vision despite widespread controversy surrounding its content and themes. This prestigious critical endorsement validated the film's artistic merit while showing how serious critics could distinguish between satirical intent and offensive content or imagery. The Times praise proved that controversial art could receive mainstream critical recognition even amid political opposition that threatened commercial distribution and business relationships. Fact 30, the political cartoon recycling.
But don't let my poor body fling through that open window and slap down hard on the concrete below.
In later years, Bakshi reused animation from Coonskin in his 2012 short Trickle Dickle Down, a political commentary during the US election that recycled controversial imagery for contemporary criticism. This animation reuse showed how satirical artistic material could find new relevance decades after original creation, while proving Bakshi's continued commitment to political commentary through animation. The recycling proved how controversial animation could be repurposed for ongoing cultural criticism that maintained satirical edge across different historical contexts and political situations. Fact 31. The Godfather-producer connection.
I need a favor.
What I have to do?
I wanted to meet at a rap.
The film was produced by Albert S. Ruddy, who had produced The Godfather, whom Bakshi met at a screening of that legendary film, with production beginning in 1973 under initial Paramount attachment. This prestigious producer connection showed industry recognition of Bakshi's artistic vision while linking the project directly to organized crime cinema that it sought to criticize and attack. Ruddy's involvement provided commercial credibility that helped secure studio backing while creating ironic situation where The Godfather producer supported satirical attack on crime movie glorification. Fact 32, the Disney career move.
I don't lie to you or God. I still take care of Rabbit and Bear, you know.
Film editor Donald W. Ernst later moved to Disney, where he co-produced major animated features including Aladdin, 1992, and Fantasia 2000, showing remarkable career evolution from controversial satire to mainstream family entertainment. This professional trajectory showed how technical skills developed on provocative projects could transfer successfully to conventional animated productions and commercial success. Ernst's Disney success proved that controversial artistic experience could enhance rather than damage career prospects, while proving animation industry professionals could navigate between radically different creative approaches. Fact 33. The Miss America voice work.
He's working for the American Mafia.
Jesse Wells provided voice work for Miss America and Marigold, the film's recurring allegorical personification of the United States that appeared in disturbing patriotic imagery throughout the narrative. This vocal performance brought life to complex symbolic character that represented American mythology while criticizing national identity through satirical representation and political commentary. Wells's voice work showed how animated characters could embody abstract political concepts while requiring performers to navigate sensitive satirical material that challenged conventional patriotic imagery through provocative characterization. Fact 34. The director's voice cameo.
I was wondering where you boys' revolutionary donation is at.
Ralph Bakshi made a personal vocal appearance as the cop with megaphone, inserting his own voice into the controversial project that he created and directed from start to finish. This cameo showed Bakshi's complete creative ownership of the provocative material while proving the director's willingness to become personally associated with controversial content and themes. The vocal appearance proved Bakshi's commitment to the project extended beyond professional duty into personal artistic statement that risked his reputation through direct participation in satirical content. Fact 35, the Nazi reference expansion.
You know I don't do no drinking, I don't do no smoking. That means I'm gonna come out pecking and poking.
Beyond blackface and minstrelsy imagery, the film deliberately referenced Jewish stereotypes from Nazi propaganda films like The Eternal Jew to criticize racism across multiple ethnic groups rather than focusing solely on anti-black prejudice. This expanded satirical approach showed sophisticated understanding of how racist imagery functioned across different cultural contexts while proving how satirical art could address multiple forms of bigotry simultaneously. The Nazi propaganda references proved Bakshi's commitment to comprehensive racism criticism that acknowledged the interconnected nature of ethnic prejudice and hatred. Fact 36. The fake revolutionary character.
I ain't got your stash this month, man. I ain't got it.
The character Simple Savior operates fraudulent revolutionary stage act, featuring stolen icons like John Wayne, Elvis Presley, and Richard Nixon to financially exploit gullible followers through false political promises and manipulation. This satirical sequence criticized both celebrity worship and political manipulation while showing how cultural symbols could be weaponized for personal gain and profit. The con man character proved Bakshi's understanding of how revolutionary rhetoric could mask exploitative behavior while providing commentary on political charlatanism that used patriotic imagery for personal profit. Fact 37. The weird crime world.
Damn, Fox. What are we doing down here, you crazy?
Cool it there. cool, just cool.
The film's criminal underworld operated through surreal logic where the mafia conducted business in subway tunnels while hitmen hid machine guns inside musical instruments like banjos and guitars. This bizarre criminal geography showed Bakshi's commitment to satirical exaggeration that made organized crime appear ridiculous rather than glamorous or heroic. The surreal elements proved how animated medium could transform realistic crime scenarios into absurdist comedy that undermined criminal mystique through impossible visual metaphors and geographical impossibility that made crime look stupid. Fact 38. The matching live and cartoon actors
Might be some trick.
Keep Bobby in the car watching the front.
The live action leads directly mirrored their animated counterparts. Philip Michael Thomas became Br'er Rabbit, Barry White transformed into Br'er Bear, and Charles Gordon portrayed Preacher Fox through dual performance approach. This character mirroring created unique viewing experience that connected realistic dramatic performance with satirical animated representation in unprecedented ways. The parallel casting showed sophisticated storytelling approach that used both performance modes to explore how same characters could function in different artistic contexts while maintaining essential personality traits and characteristics. Fact 39. The adult rating confirmation.
Shut your stupid mouth! Don't you dare strike me again.
Home video releases consistently document the film's MPAAR rating, as confirmed by sources including Xenon's 2012 DVD listings and IMDb database entries that establish official content classification. This rating classification reflected recognition of adult content themes while providing official industry acknowledgement of controversial material that required restricted audience access for safety reasons. The R rating showed how satirical animation could be classified alongside live-action adult entertainment while proving that cartoon medium didn't automatically guarantee family-friendly content designation or child-appropriate material. Fact 40. The critical respect later.
You're not done on Sunday. That comes on the Lord's Day.
The Online Film Critics Society placed Coonskin at number 97 on its 2003 Greatest Animated Films list, while the film's first Blu-ray release arrived in Germany in 2015, showing continued international recognition. This critical rehabilitation showed how controversial art could achieve historical recognition despite initial commercial and political rejection by audiences and distributors. The critics' list inclusion proved that satirical animation could be reevaluated by serious film scholars who recognized artistic merit beyond initial controversy, while international distribution showed global appreciation for challenging American satirical content. Bonus fact. Here's the bonus fact that explains everything. Coonskin succeeded as art precisely because Ralph Bakshi refused to compromise his satirical vision despite overwhelming pressure from studios, activists, and distributors who wanted safer, more commercially viable content that wouldn't offend anyone. The film proved that animation could tackle the most controversial social issues through satirical courage that mainstream live-action movies avoided due to commercial concerns. Bakshi used cartoon medium to expose uncomfortable truths about American racism, organized crime glorification, and cultural hypocrisy that required animated exaggeration to become visible to general audiences. His willingness to risk career destruction for artistic integrity established new possibilities for animated social commentary that influenced generations of filmmakers who learned that cartoon format could handle serious political content effectively. The film's survival through decades of distribution challenges proved that meaningful satirical art could outlast commercial censorship attempts and political pressure. Sometimes the most important art emerges from artists who refuse to apologize for challenging audiences with uncomfortable truths wrapped in satirical packaging that makes difficult subjects accessible through creative courage and artistic vision. Coonskin showed that animation's greatest power lay not in escapist entertainment, but in its ability to reveal social reality through exaggerated imagery that forced viewers to confront what they preferred to ignore about American society. What do you think about how satirical art should balance artistic freedom with social responsibility when addressing controversial subjects that make people uncomfortable?